Hyundai. They offer one really cool looking compact pickup truck that has the goal to beat the Ford Maverick for the throne in this compact pickup truck segment. Here we're talking about the Hyundai Santa Cruz. This model now is in its third production year and it's getting even better. So if you want to learn more, stay with us while we cover the 8 reasons why you should wait for the 2024 Hyundai Santa Cruz. Number 8. Modern unibody chassis. One of the main highlights of the Hyundai Santa Cruz is definitely its chassis. This pickup truck is not your ordinary pickup truck. The Santa Cruz is basically an SUV with a pickup truck bed. This model is closely related to the ongoing generation of the Hyundai Tucson. This approach has a lot of benefits over a regular pickup truck. The Santa Cruz with this platform is able to handle like a dream through the corners and feels a lot nimbler when compared to regular ladder frame pickup trucks. All this is possible by the revolutionary M3 platform developed by Hyundai. Not to mention that this platform is also very future-proof. Even electrification is one of the options in the upcoming years for the Hyundai Santa Cruz. This model also comes with a capable H-Track system. This is the all-wheel drive system developed by Hyundai. The system implements a lockable clutch center differential and really performs when it comes to its off-road duties, especially with special strut suspension in the front and the multi-link independent suspension in the rear. The dimensions of this model are also one of its highlights. It has a wheelbase of 118.3 inches with an overall length of 195.7 inches and a curb weight of 3,704 pounds. This makes the Hyundai Santa Cruz one of the lightest models in the segment, which allows it to be extremely efficient. We'll cover more on that in a moment after we discuss the powertrain options in the Hyundai Santa Cruz. Reason number 7. Powerful engine options. Powertrain options are another really important factor when it comes to purchasing a new car or truck. A truck has to be powerful in order to deliver a good experience, since trucks are meant for doing truck things like towing and hauling stuff in the rear. So how powerful is the Hyundai Santa Cruz? Well, this model comes with 2 engines, and both of these engines are basically the same in general. The only thing is that one of them is naturally aspirated, while the other is turbocharged. The base engine is a 2.5-liter inline-4 naturally aspirated version. This engine isn't a powerhouse by any means, and makes a modest amount of power, which is 191 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque. Although modest in terms of power, it's still quite similar to the Ford Maverick Hybrid, which is also rated at 190 horsepower. The preferred engine option with the Hyundai Santa Cruz is the 2.5-liter inline-4 turbo. This turbocharged model is a lot more powerful. It makes 281 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. This engine is a lot more powerful compared to the 2.0-liter EcoBoost found in the Ford Maverick. That engine only makes 255 horsepower. While the transmission options of the Hyundai Santa Cruz are 2. The base naturally aspirated engine comes paired with a regular torque converter automatic. This is an 8-speed transmission. The turbocharged engine also comes paired with an 8-speed automatic, but this automatic is a dual clutch. This specific transmission is a lot more responsive, and you also get paddle shifters on the steering wheel to go through the gears manually. Reason number 6. Great towing and payload capacity. Towing and payload performance is one of the most important things that a truck needs to possess in order to be considered as such. Although many people buy trucks just to show off, there are still plenty that buy trucks for their truck usage. So how does the Santa Cruz perform in this area? Well, when it comes to towing, the Hyundai Santa Cruz is one capable towing machine. The base model with a naturally aspirated engine can tow as much as 3,500 pounds, and the turbocharged engine can tow up to 5,000 pounds, making this truck the best in this compact pickup truck class. Just for reference, the Ford Maverick, which is the only competitor, the Hyundai Santa Cruz can only tow up to 2,000 pounds on its base model. Only if you go for the tow package will you unlock 4,000 pounds of tow rating, which is still 1,000 pounds less than the Hyundai Santa Cruz. The payload capacity is also excellent with the Hyundai Santa Cruz. This model can take a payload of anywhere between 1,568 and 1,906 pounds, which is quite a lot for a vehicle of this size. For comparison, the Ford Maverick could only take a payload of 1,500 pounds. Even the base model of the Hyundai Santa Cruz is a better performer than the Ford Maverick. The only drawback with the Santa Cruz is its shorter bed. This model has a bed length of 4.3 feet, while the Ford Maverick has a bed of 4.5 feet. We wish manufacturers start to install longer beds on these compact models in order to maximize the space. Reason number 5. Great fuel economy. Fuel economy is also a really important factor that many people consider when buying a new truck. This is the case because of the rising gas prices that are constantly exploding and reaching new records. This has a big impact on drivers and it really limits their budget. So how does the Hyundai Santa Cruz perform? Well, the standard naturally aspirated model has a decent fuel economy. It gets 22 mpg in the city, 26 mpg on the highway, and 23 mpg combined. While the turbocharged model has similar numbers. This model gets 19 mpg in the city, 27 mpg on the highway, and 22 mpg combined, which is still not bad. What we really hope is that Hyundai will introduce a hybrid model in the upcoming years. A mild hybrid can really make these models deliver about 27 mpg both in the city and on the highway. This is quite essential because Ford already offers a hybrid, and this model is the most popular model in this compact pickup truck segment. The Maverick hybrid gets about 33 mpg combined, which is a lot when compared to the numbers of the Hyundai Santa Cruz. Reason number 4. Good-looking exterior design. One of the main things we really love about the Hyundai Santa Cruz is the way this truck looks, and this is the main thing that a lot of people are after, especially people who don't want to get a typical American truck. And this is the area where the Hyundai Santa Cruz really shines. This model brings the same front end as the Hyundai Tucson. This means that this model implements a very sleek and modern design that is very aerodynamic. We especially love how the front grille and the headlights are simply blended together elegantly. The rest of the truck is also pretty well sculptured. The side profile is definitely one of the best on the market. Hyundai engineers really focused on creating something special when designing this pickup truck, and the rear end is also done exceptionally well. Overall, this model is a step above the Ford Maverick in terms of design. If you want something sleeker and more modern looking, we definitely recommend the Santa Cruz over the Maverick any time of the day. Reason number 3. Great looking interior design and features. The interior of the Hyundai Santa Cruz is also really nice, especially on the higher end trim levels. The design is very modern and can even be called futuristic. We really like how the screens are laid out. There's one screen for the cluster and one larger screen for the infotainment. Both of them are very high resolution and extremely crisp. They both use Hyundai's latest software, which is extremely snappy and intuitive. If you don't want to use the onboard system, you also have the option to go for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. What we really loved about the Hyundai Santa Cruz is that even with all this tech, you have the capacitive buttons to control stereo and climate controls. This is perfect for people who don't want to spend a ton of time learning the menus and searching for these options. Reason number 2. Abundance of trim levels. Another highlight of the Hyundai Santa Cruz is definitely the trim options. This model has a trim level for everyone's taste. The base trim level is the SE, then you have the SL, and then above this trim, you have the Night trim. The Night trim is a limited edition trim with some sporty touches. Above the Night, you have the XRT, which is a new trim for 2024. This trim comes with all-wheel drive as well as smart cruise control, XRT wide fenders, and side steps. The top trim is the Limited. The Limited is the most expensive trim with very high-end features. Reason number 1. Affordable price. The Hyundai Santa Cruz is also a very affordable model. The base SE starts at $26,650, which makes it a bit more expensive than the Maverick, but you also get more performance. The trim that we would recommend if you have a bit more budget is the SEL. This trim starts at $29,400 and has more features. Or if you have more funds at your disposal, the new XRT trim is perfect. This trim has all the bells and whistles and starts at $39,850. Thanks for watching and see you next time.